Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Kelly Wilkness with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today is episode 286, How to Create a Stunning Christmas Tree. And you can find the show notes for today's episode at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/286.
I like the confidence with which you said stunning.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's what you want.
If you're not confident, you will be after you listen today.
Ooh, good one.
Yes, we're bringing on the confidence, bringing on the decorating confidence. And we know we are because so many of you lovely ladies have taken the time to email us and let us know that we have helped you with your decorating, not even acumen, but your confidence, which really, to tell you the truth, is what it's all about. If you've got the confidence to decorate like you're the boss decorator and decorate and take chances and change things up a little bit, that is where not only the creativity lies, but where the fun is.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, if you are confident, even if you've messed up, people will think that you knew what you were doing and that you did it on purpose. I've had that happen so many times because I was always very confident with my decorating. So
I meant it to be like that.
Yeah. So sometimes I did make mistakes and people go, oh, I really like the way you did whatever. And it would be something that I'd messed up on. And I think, oh, yeah. Thanks.
Exactly. And we want to wish anybody out there happy Hanukkah. It's sort of smack in the middle right now when you're listening to this. And we're decorating. We're always decorating, but we're recording a little bit before Hanukkah starts. So definitely wanted to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah, and I hope you're enjoying this time with your families. And if you have any Hanukkah decorating, I've never really decorated for Hanukkah, but I know I have some ideas on it. And so let me know. And I also have a really great resource for gorgeous menorahs, so I could put that in the show notes too.
Like we did with the mantles, I wanted to back up just 1 second and say, if you have a tree from 1995, it might be time to get a new tree. We'll start with that first because...
Was that a bad year for trees, or are you just saying that was a long time ago?
I'm just saying it was a long time ago, and I recently, because I was so guilty of this, I had an old Christmas tree, and it was the kind where you have to go look at each branch and figure out which hole it goes in and look at the color. And then you had to string the lights on. And it was like an hour before you got the tree up.
Oh, yeah.
And this time, Evie and I, we spent the day yesterday putting the tree up. And I said, let's get it put together. Well, 3 pieces, snap, snap, snap. And then you plug it together. It was 3 sections put together. It's done. And all the lights are in it. And then it has the floor thing that you step on, the floor switch. Yeah, that turns the lights on and off. Mm-hmm. And
what forest do you get the tree from that has the floor switch?
The Balsam Hill tree.
The Balsam Hill forest. Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, it's whatever brand that you buy from. I mean, that's what our tree is. But if you have an old tree, you might think about getting a new one. I think it's going to make your life so much easier. I think you're going to really enjoy it. And the other thing that we did was we got the skinnier Christmas tree. So it fits in a smaller space. And for so many people, those trees are so wide. They just kind of take up your whole walkway. You have to move furniture, and I can't stand moving the furniture for the tree. So so just look into some new trees if you have an old one, or if you get fresh from the the Christmas tree farm, you're good to go. But anyway, just wanted to throw that out there before we got started.
So true. The moving the furniture, because we have, the couple of faux trees that we have, and then we are going to get a real tree from the girls' school. In fact, I'm on the tree committee this year. And
I see.
Our sales are through the roof.
Of course,
yes,
darling.
We've been really pushing the Christmas trees. And so then we on December, I won't have that tree until December 8th, which seems like a long way off from today. But when you guys are listening to this, I'll just be getting my real tree in 3 days. And I'm already planning, like, okay, so I got the Victorian Albert chairs. Okay, they need to go somewhere, but I can't just chuck those in the garage because I spent a fortune on getting those upholstered. Like, where am I going to put those? And so there's all these concerns when the real tree comes in, but I do love it, but it really makes my daughter Laura so happy to have the real tree. And of course, we're supporting the school So that's all good. So whether you're doing a real tree or you're doing a faux or you're, a crazy nut like I am and you're doing a bit of both, we've got a lot of tips for you today. One thing that I wish I had sort of known about from Balsam Hill, and they probably have it I don't know if it's just their signature thing and they've patented or whether other places have it, but there's actually that like flip tree, like it just flips up. And
I don't have one of those. Did you get one of those?
Yeah. No. We didn't have those to choose from the year last year. I guess
you and I did that,
those.
right?
No. Yeah, but I've seen them on there now. I'm like, whoa.
Well, that's
like if
in
I was going
essence.
to invest.
I mean, that's in essence. Mine's just 3 pieces, but it flips down. I mean, that's the great thing about it.
Oh, crazy good. Yeah, and I know. Well, right now, I don't know if it's going on, but I did get some sort of thing came across my on my computer that they're having some big giant sale. So I don't know. You would think they wouldn't have sales this time of year, but I guess they do. Anywho, so now you've got a tree. What are you going to do with it?
Well, here's one look that's very simple. But, let's cover several different ideas. Mm-hmm. But one kind of simplistic look, if you love the natural look, especially if you have a real tree, I think this would be really pretty to just cover it with lights. The white lights just kind of overdo on the lights. Maybe put 2-3 times as many lights as maybe a normal tree has. And then maybe just some simple burlap or no burlap. I think that's a beautiful look if you want a minimalistic look. Or you just want something very simple.
You seeing burlap like a tree skirt burlap?
No, I'm thinking burlap ribbon, kind of wrapped around like it's a garland.
Oh,
wrapped
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes they do it straight down from the top, or you can wrap it around it, but kind of a natural look.
Yeah. I want to discuss that going round or coming down in a minute. But
yes.
Okay, so if you are getting a real tree, here's what I suggest. I mean, where we are, it's still, it's going to probably be warm. And sometimes when we get our Christmas tree, it's, shorts weather still. So it really depends on obviously where you live in the country and if you're having bad weather. But if you have an opportunity to have your tree sit outside for an evening before you bring it in and let it shake all out outside, that's a great idea. I've been advised by this. As I just mentioned, I am on the tree committee at school. And so
she's an expert now.
We are in direct contact with the tree people in Oregon, where they make a lot of Christmas trees. They grow a lot of Christmas trees there. So they know what they're talking about. And I selected a Nordman this year, which supposedly did very well. And that type of tree did very well with working when the drought conditions that they had in a lot of places where your trees might be coming from. So even stronger than the nobles, apparently this year. That's the word on the tree street this year. So I picked a Nordman, and what the gentleman told us to advise the people that bought the trees is to let it sit outside. You could even hose it down. If you're not in a place where it's going to freeze overnight, hose it down, and that'll loosen any of the needles that might drop right away. It'll sort of shake them off already. And then your tree will be, will be dust free and all that kind of stuff too when you bring it inside. So that's something you might want to consider as, steps.
Okay.
To bringing the real tree inside.
No, that's a good idea. So another alternative thing, as we're talking about decorating. So if you still kind of want kind of a minimalistic look, but you want to do a little bit more than the lights, another idea is to go really monochromatic, where you just have one color throughout the tree, like a white or a white and gold. So, I mean, I've seen that done very nicely. So that's just something that's going to be very simple, and it's easy to find those kind of ornaments. And another thing you could do, I like buying a lot of silver ornaments though, because not only if you want a silver tree, it works well, but silver goes with everything. So it's a nice base. So if I were to decide to change the colors on my tree, that silver is going to go with everything.
I think you're so right. Silver, even more so than gold, silver seems to be much more of a chameleon. Like, gold and blue can be like a little flash, but gold and silver seems to really work together. Silver looks great with red.
Mm-hmm.
Silver looks great with any of the neutrals. Like if you're doing the burlap or something like that, I think that's really
and silver
pretty.
and gold looks good. I think they look
I
really good together.
I love mixed metals any way you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were going to just pick one, silver or gold, I would, like you're saying, I would go with the silver because I think it's more versatile. I was looking at a ton of Christmas trees getting ready for this episode just to pop in with some different ideas. And there were definitely some that I was like, oh gosh, no. Like the ombre tree.
I wasn't even, I know the ombre tree. I was on that one too.
No, you saw that too? Yeah. Cause if you go on Pinterest and you put like, interesting or dazzling or stunning Christmas trees, you definitely run the gamut. But I have to tell you, the one that I really just like, I was like, oh yes, was from Maria at Dreamy Whites. She has a beautiful blog. She doesn't post that much, and she's it's just this like incredibly gorgeous lifestyle. Like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, have you ever followed her blog?
I don't know her blog, but I'm going to check it out.
You don't? So my gosh, I would think you would for sure know her. She's up in Northern California, and she used to blog a lot more, but she has.
So what's her tree look like?
It's so simple, you guys. It's like you're saying. I mean, it's real. It's evergreen, big, pretty evergreen, and sort of she wraps it in kind of like as a skirt, like a chunky. One of those chunky arm throws seems like, like just big chunky.
Oh, I've seen that. I love that look.
And then it's pretty much just white lights and call it a day.
I love that look. I think that's really pretty.
If you can hold yourself back, it's pretty spectacular. We wouldn't be able to do it because my daughters, really, if we're going to go for the Christmas tree, all the ornaments are going to go on it. But I think, sometimes it is just the simplest thing can have the biggest impact. And it's, the tree itself is just stunning.
Well, another thing to think about, if you want this decorated tree, a lot of people do have those home ornaments that are very meaningful, but maybe not the prettiest. And I think that's a big struggle. Do you put those on? Do you not? I mean, this seems to be a big question every year. And I think that kind of, if you want the decorated tree that's kind of more of the elegant look, I think that's just crying for two trees. That is really, you're going to
work for Balsam Hill.
No.
And I'm selling trees for Mayfield Senior School. So if you want two real trees, I can get you a tree right now and just have it delivered. But that's the thing. I talked about this in, last week, I guess, when we did our other Christmas episode and you talked about how Evie complimented you with the mall tree, and my daughter was sad because mine looked like a mall tree too. Like, it's high end. I'm talking like Bergdorf's or, Nordstrom's, like, not pennies, like high end mall trees, but really, really styled, and that's not necessarily what people are feeling for Christmas. But if you want to enjoy decorating a tree like that, just because it really is fun and it really is beautiful, then definitely, that's the way to go. Have the two trees. Because, unfortunately, and then I was thinking, as you were saying that, I was like, could you put your tree on like a Lazy Susan? Like, no, hey kids, I have all your ornaments, from kindergarten
back here in the back.
The macaronis are here, zoop, and spin it around.
Well, yeah.
Maybe Balsam Hill should make a tree like that. Forget the flip. You need a spin tree. Spinning.
I have a 4-foot tree. Why couldn't you put that on your island? We were kind of running out of time, and Evie wanted the pink ornaments. And I said, well, why don't we get one of the other trees out and you can get the short one.
Go get another tree. Get that elf to go get another tree. Go.
Just go up there and get another one out of the attic.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we didn't, it was, I don't know. I wasn't going to be helping enough, so the decision was made that she did not want to do the second one. But I did offer.
It was just too exhausting.
It was, she had a runny nose, so only so much can be done.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. You want to make a beautiful Christmas tree. Now, we've been talking about get into the heart of it right now. So they're all different styles that you can use and different approaches, obviously. Faux, real, styled, family ornaments, all of that. So whatever you decide is right for you this year, or multiple trees, whatever is right, feels good for you. I think a really important aspect of a stunning tree, like no matter what kind of style, like a catch your breath, beautiful tree, is you need to have depth. This is very similar to when you're creating a floral arrangement or something like that. You don't want it all just on the outside. You don't want to create a shell of decorations or a shell of lights. So when you're putting the lights on, if you are not fortunate enough to have, it being pre-lit, and to my knowledge, no real trees come pre-lit yet.
Well, that's true.
That could be, that's a business you and I could start. You want to go deep. So you want to have more lights than you think you need always. And of course, check your lights. Give that somebody's job to check the lights. The last thing you want to do is, put a whole strand on and realize they're duds. So you check your lights, and then you want to go in the branches and back out. And I suggest wearing gardening gloves, because you're going to get a little scraped up. And you go in and you sort of attach them, and you don't want to see the wires. And, please make sure that your wires are green, not white. And you go in and you're out, and you go in and out and in and out. And just keep doing that. So when you put the tree on, you're getting the lights coming from all inside and outside of the tree. And if you leave it like that, spectacular. But then if you're putting ornaments on, some of the lights are going to get covered by the ornaments and whatnot, but then some of them will be reflected in the lights, even if the light's deep inside the tree. So I think that's so important. And I would suggest that you do that with ornaments too, and you could slip a few of those macaroni ones further in if you wanted to.
Well, they
no
can,
one would know.
Yes, they do fit well inside.
But I'm joking about the macaroni ones, but hey, if you want to. But what ones I do put inside is like the plain balls, like the plain silver ones.
Right.
Or the plain, if you do red, something like that. The plain shiny ones that are not, the particularly memorable ones, but sort of that foundational.
But good filler. They're good filler.
And that's the thing too. I do the lights, and then I do those filler ones. So I really approach it the same way that I do a floral arrangement. It's just on a really giant scale. And then I'll go in with you've got the greens, obviously. So you've already got your foundation. And so you don't need to do that. So now I'm putting in the co-stars. Like I'm putting in the flowers that would be the supporting flowers, like the tulips or carnations or mums.
Right.
And you're sticking all these Christmas balls in that are pretty plain.
Well, and as you're saying that, that's kind of what I was talking about in the foundation of the silver ornaments. I have a lot of ornaments that look, I don't know that they are, but they look kind of like mercury glass.
Yeah.
And they're not round balls. They actually have a lot more dimension to them. They're more shaped. They're really beautiful. But what a great base. If you bought a bunch of those, then, or if you had them, however, you put those around your tree, then that's your base. And then just like your lights, you would just keep those on keep using those forever. And then your colored bulbs, let's say 1 year you want to do a blue tree. Well, you don't need to add that many of the blue bulbs since you do mostly, for example, maybe the silver and the white. And then maybe you do blue. And then maybe 2 years later, you're like, I'm ready to go on to chartreuse. So then you change out the bulbs for the chartreuse ones, the colored ones. So, that's the other thing is you can kind of do the base with the neutrals and then just change out the color ones if you were looking for a new look each year. And then the other thing, in addition to changing out the bulbs to a different color, is the ribbon is something that's pretty economical to change out year to year if you want a new look. So just get some ribbon that's kind of going with your bulbs.
That's so smart. It really is. I mean, honestly, you could get one pack of 12 or 16 specialty Christmas balls, ornaments in a new color. And that would be all you'd need to add. I think that's a really great way to do it. Really smart.
Because we approach the tree like decorating a room. Limited color palette, I think, is going to give you a more elegant look. If you want to go for an elegant look, just use a few colors, 1 or 2, maybe the most 3. But again, if you're kind of going for the family thing, maybe it just works better for you to, maybe you don't really care about that and you want it to go with all these family collected heirloom ornaments, and then you're going to, you don't care and you want it kind of a mix of everything, then that's a different approach.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what that's what I'm doing with our family tree. I don't really put garlands or ribbons on it. We have so many ornaments that we've collected over the years and that we've made. And I have these foundational ones. And because most of the ornaments that the girls have made or they've chosen, like every year my girls, we would go and they would pick an ornament out. And we've done this up until last year we did it. So I'm sure we'll do it again this year. And mostly they're picking in the traditional Christmas colors. Every once in a while, there's like, the wayward one where somebody wants, a pink princess or something like that. But most of the time over the years, it's been something that in the reds or golds. So that tree is normally very traditional Christmas colors. And I really don't add much more. So I really go heavy with the lights. I have the foundational balls that I use. And I used to use red, but now I use silver because I kind of want to have a go with the rest of my house a little bit more. So that was easy to switch out. And we have a tree in the barn, which I'm doing the red on. So it's fine.
See, there you go.
So it's absolutely fine. But
I had a friend that had a tree in every room, and she had a Barbie tree in one of her rooms.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Well.
I don't think I got that deep, but don't tell Laura. I'm going to have a Barbie tree then. She does love those. But so I think that those are great ideas right there. And you could stop there. But if you want to add some of those beautiful ribbons that, the wired ribbons or the beautiful ribbons that come out at Christmas time, whether metallics or something like that, or if you're doing a real traditional tree and you want to add in maybe a plaid or something like that, there are ways to make that look like a mall tree if you want to, right?
Yeah.
So you can go all the way around. I mean, when I was growing up, it was the tinsel, but you don't see that so much more. Or the tinsely garland, you don't really see that
the tinsel.
So much anymore.
Yeah, it's like that. Have you heard there's a backlash against the glitter? I think it's the same with the tinsel. It's like it goes everywhere. It's such a hassle to clean up. And I think at some point, all the moms banded together and said, that's it on the tinsel.
Yeah, that's it on the tinsel. Yes. And there was the tinsely garland, that was actually kind of like a boa.
Yeah.
We had that
we
too,
had
but
that.
You don't really, you don't see people using that anymore.
No.
So now it's really ribbon. So, Anita, do you go round with your ribbon or do you go down with your ribbon?
I've done both. And you know what I've used for garland a lot? I have a lot of pearl ribbon. It just looks like a string of pearls.
Oh, how pretty.
And I have a lot of that. So I've done that around the tree. But
so it's just pearls. There's no fabric to it.
No, it's just pearls.
Well, that's great too because it's not covering up the ornaments. Because lots of times with those big ribbons, they're blocking the ornaments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have obviously it's thin. It's not a big garland, but I have so much of it. You could totally cover up the tree. I mean, you could cover up pretty much the whole tree if you wanted to. I have so much of that. But yeah, the ribbon, I've done it both ways. And I wouldn't even say it's just two ways. One way is you wrap it around like it's a garland around the tree. The second way is you have kind of a bow at the top and then you have streamers all the way down. But then the third way is you kind of just tuck it in all around.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
So back to the burning question of our time. How do you tuck your ribbon in your stunning Christmas tree? Well, last year I had the pleasure of decorating a tree for someone who's kind of sort of famous. And I can't really tell you who it is. But anyway, it was super fun. And she wanted her ribbon tucked in, and she didn't know how to do it. And lo and behold, somehow somebody recommended me, and there I showed up with, the ribbon tucking knowledge that was needed.
You showed up as the ribbon tucking expert.
Well, it was I did the whole shebang, but I mean, she was just at her wit's end, because how do these people tuck this ribbon and make it look spectacular? I'm going to tell you, it's really not that hard. I probably could explain it to her at the door, in like 30 seconds. You can tuck like an expert in 30 seconds now, because you're going to listen to us. So you just start at the top. So I'm going to talk about tucking vertically now. So you start at the top, and you're probably going to have a tree topper or something, right? So you're going to have your ribbon, and if it's wired, you can kind of sort of just wrap it a little bit and it'll stay there. And then hopefully your tree topper, or maybe you can add some picks or things like that. We'll talk about picks as well, up around the top. So you're sort of hiding the ribbon. You don't want to see it like swirled around there, or partially knotted or anything. So you're going to sort of make it like a maypole in a sense, right? So there's ribbons, however many you want coming down. I'm going to suggest, based on an average size tree, that you probably have 5. An odd number is nice. If your tree is gigantic, maybe 7, but 3 is probably a little chintzy on the chintzy side, but it also depends on how wide your ribbon is. And so then you're just going to start sort of giving generous portions of the ribbon as you go down, and sort of just pushing it into the various branches at different increments. And you want them to be sort of not exactly aligned with the ribbon next to them, right? So you'll tuck one, and then the next one next to it, you'll go down a little further, and then they'll tuck again. And you'll keep doing that, sort of, interspersing it as you go down. And then at the end, I like to just let it sort of flow down, depending on the width of the ribbon. You could even let it flow to the ground, but if you're going to have presents that you have under there, then maybe you don't want it to hit the ground. And then you can decide whether to, cut it in a little tail, or just to cut it on the angle. And I would not cut your ribbon. Do not pre-cut your ribbon. Try to start and just let it run all the way down, because you're not going to really know how much you need to tuck in.
Yeah.
So you don't want to pre-cut, and then you're going to have like a high water.
Well, I think you're going to need several rolls of ribbon anyway.
Oh, yeah. You're going to need several rolls of ribbon. Do you have any more advice on that?
No, I think you did. I think you did a lovely job
Okay,
describing the ribbon tucking process.
The ribbon tucking process. And I do think garland is one thing, and garland can, go around in the traditional sense when, if you're a little kid and you're drawing a Christmas tree, kind of like zoop, 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 you draw the garland on there. Ribbon is a different beast. It doesn't go around as well. It goes down
Let me put
better.
it this way. I've seen it wrapped around, and it really doesn't look as good as it is if it's tucked.
Yes.
It's just going to look better if it kind of comes in and out. Otherwise, it looks kind of, I don't know, one-dimensional.
Right. It looks flat, right?
It looks flat, and you want it to look fluffy.
Yeah, you want fluff, right? And so, and if it's a thick ribbon or if it's wired at the edges, you can actually sort of, make it stand out from the branches a little bit and then tuck it in and do that sort of thing. So don't be afraid to play with it. But yeah, definitely don't cut it first. And if you're at the store or you're ordering online, buy an extra roll or two. If your pocketbook can stand it, you could always return it if you end up not using it. But you don't want to be mid-tree and realize, I can only do 4.5 lengths, it's just not enough. So definitely err on the side of more.
There's some other lights that I got that I put on my small tree that are really beautiful. I do want to mention these in case you like the look of the traditional candles that people used to put on the trees.
Okay. Hello. My mother-in-law, Edith.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She puts real candles on her tree.
She's a scary woman.
No, but that's a German thing.
I know, but it's just like such a fire hazard.
I know.
It's scary.
The first time I went there, when I guess we were just married and we went there for Christmas one year, and I could hardly every time we walked out of the room, I was like,
really? There was walking out of the room?
When's it going to go up?
You all just bring my food here.
Where's the
I'm
fire
just going to eat here.
I don't want to burn in this house.
I know. That seems scary. Well, right. So let's say you like that look, but you're not interested in your house catching on fire.
Mm-hmm.
My suggestion is, and I'll find the link because I bought these online. They're the little candles, and it's they're fake candles. It's electric, but it's got a cord, and it's got all those candles, the faux candles, and you clip them on the tree limb so they sitting straight up rather than all wonky. Really cute. I thought it was so charming.
So would you put regular lights and then those, or just those?
I didn't, but it was a small tree, and I just put those on the
That's
tree.
so sweet.
I didn't put both, but I think you could. It's really just kind of what you want. The reason I put them on a smaller tree is I think I bought probably 2 or 3 sets, but I thought, if I put them on a big tree, I'm going to have to buy about 10 sets of these.
It's probably better for a small tree.
That's why I did the small little 4-foot tree.
That's so cute.
It worked out really well, but it's really charming looking.
Now, what about the color of the lights?
Well, yes. I mean, of course, I prefer the white, but when growing up, we had all the colors.
I had all the colors growing up too. Mm-hmm.
And I remember the big day when we went from the big bulbs to the little light bulb.
Yeah. But I love the big bulbs. They're so cool.
Now they're cool, but back then we thought, they're so last year, what year was.
Exactly. Yeah, lights have come a long way. Remember, one would go out and the whole thing would go out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it would be, then you had to leave the room because Dad would be saying some bad words.
Yes, it was. So everybody.
And it wasn't Merry Christmas.
No, really. Exactly. Oh, that is so funny. Okay. So the picks, that Christmas tree picks, that's kind of a recent development too, I think.
Oh, yes. So talk about the picks.
Well, they are aptly named. They're something very long, a long pointy stick, if you will.
Well, they would also be called a floral pick, right?
Could be called a floral pick, and they're long, and they're either wooden or metal, and they're usually sort of wrapped in whatever material the decorative part is made of. And you just slide them into your tree, but they're long enough where you don't have to hook them with a Christmas tree hook, or you don't have to attach them with a zip tie or anything like that. And they have all sorts of things, like they could just be berries, or they could be magnolias, or different kinds of flowers, or bows even. So I've seen tons of those things. That's a really interesting thing to add to your Christmas tree collection if you don't have them already. And they're usually sold in like sort of packs of like, 6 or 12 or something. So you don't want to put like one, you want to put a bunch.
Do you have them on your tree?
Well, I got them last year. They sent, when they sent all that stuff from Balsam Hill, I never had the picks before.
But now which ones, what color or what plant? I mean, what did you get?
I think mine might be agapanthus, not agapanthus. Something. There's something.
Are they gold?
They're not
silver,
amaryllis.
green?
There's some sort of flower. I can't remember the name of the flower.
Are they sparkly and metallic?
Yeah, they're sparkly and metallic. And then I have another set of that are sort of bronze. I don't remember bronze, like platinum colored berries.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And like sprays of berries. And that was the first time I'd ever used them. And I think I'm going to use them in my traditional tree, my family tree this year, because I think that'll bring a little extra sparkle, and it won't be wide ribbon that's blocking anybody's important, ornaments, macaroni ornaments or anything like that. But I think it just might be enough to sort of bring in the silver and gold that I like, that's really, going on in my room there.
Mm-hmm.
So those are, and I think you could probably get those pretty economically.
Yeah, I bet you could.
So I would definitely suggest getting a set of picks. That would be something that if you're going to buy something for your Christmas tree this year, I would suggest those. And the other thing that they're really good for is you can put them up at the top around your Christmas tree topper, whatever that happens to be. And that if you're doing the ribbon up there, they will help to block it. I also like the idea of them sort of splaying out of the top, because they're kind of, they do
like
that.
A crown?
Yeah, it's almost like a crown, but it's like a spray of berries or a spray of flowers. So it kind of stands up and away from the tree. And so it's a way to add height to your tree as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
And I do have a tip on adding height to your tree. If you have whatever kind of tree base you have, or if it's a faux tree and it comes in its own little stand, you can, I would suggest putting a old towel down, or, if it's a fake tree, you don't have to worry about water, but put something down so your floor doesn't get damaged. And you can just get some bricks and just get 3 of them. I did this last year, and just put them under the legs, and then you put your tree skirt around it, and you're going to get another like 6 inches.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah. If you just feel like you need a little height. And do you want to talk about tree skirts?
Well, I'm kind of lazy with that. I will usually, a lot of times I should say, it's not actually even a real tree skirt. I kind of go with whatever my theme is, and I will just get some fabric and twist it around the base. And I've seen some beautiful tubs people have used it's another great idea, putting a tree in. If it's a smaller tree, I think the olive buckets are beautiful. So, I think you don't feel like you have to use something that you bought at the store. If you have fabric, you can just kind of turn it around and turn under the edges. Sometimes it's just raw fabric I've used.
Confession. I've been using an old burlap curtain from Ballard from our last house. I was like, I just want to buy some burlap and that'll be great. And then I was like, oh, hey, look what I have. Yeah. Well. So I did it again. I put it on we are doing a tree out in the barn, and I'm using it for that one. But I think that's a great idea. And then I have some sparkly fabric that I've used for other trees. You don't have to go buy a real tree skirt, and they're really kind of expensive anyway, unless you fall in love with it. But you don't really need to have one. Or you could put a throw around it. If you like the furry look, put a furry
What about,
throw.
how we, that's what I was going to say. You know how we love the fur throws?
Yes.
Like that leopard throw.
Oh, that would be awesome.
From Soft Surroundings, except I like to wrap up in it, so I'm not putting it around the tree. But that would really be pretty there.
Yeah, but maybe you find a cheaper one somewhere.
Hey, I inherited my mother-in-law's mink coat that I never wear. What if I use that to wrap around the base of the tree?
I want to see that.
You want to see it?
I want to see that happen. If it was a stole and it was a little tree, how cute would that be? It'd be so easy.
Well, it's a whole coat. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But what if you even found one thrifting? Like there are fur stoles and jackets.
Oh, that's
thrifting
true.
all the
Well,
time.
I have somebody else's. I inherited the stole where the mouth, it's a clip and it clips onto the tail.
I love those.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
Oh, that's fabulous. I think we covered a lot of the tree. We have talked for a long time about it. so we do have a listener question today. Do we have time to do that?
I think go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So Kathy S. wrote us, and she says she loves the podcast.
We love you, Kathy.
Thanks, Kath. And she really enjoyed the episode about when we talked about Discardia Day. And if you don't, that's the day that you declare you're going to purge and get rid of things. And so you declare Discardia. And she was getting really excited to do that. And she's in her closet and working on it. And she has in her closet her dirty laundry bins. And so she was wondering, like, what we do with our dirty laundry. You want to know what we do with our dirty laundry. I'm not sure you really want to know. But yeah, well, Kathy's situation is she has a metal rack in her closet with 3 bins. So I'm assuming like whites, darks, and media. I don't know what the third one is. Miscellaneous. And it's taking up a lot of space, and it's really bumming her out because she can't really go whole hog into Discardia with this thing in her closet.
Oh, boy. Well, where are her washer and dryer? Does she have room there?
I don't know. I didn't ask that question.
Well, yesterday, was it yesterday? There was some noise. My washing machine was kind of yelling at me, and I was ignoring it. And I went up there, and there was water all over the floor. Yeah, so the washing machine's not working. So I have a lot of dirty laundry right now. In fact, I told Evie that she couldn't use the washing machine for several days because we had to get a new one. And she said, Mom, I only have underwear for 3 days.
Oh, no.
What am I going to do?
Oh, no.
So it's already an emergency. So yeah, we're going to have a little class on hand washing. So if anybody wants to come, we're going to have a class on hand washing your delicates.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I have in my laundry room, which isn't really a big room, I have two bins, basically like what you're talking about. So I don't know that I have a really good option, but I suppose you could maybe kind of hang some bags or something on the back of your doors. I'm wondering if that would work where you could kind of hide it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a really great question. And instead of just emailing Kathy back and be like, we'll answer in the podcast, I should have asked her, well, where are your washer and dryer? Because I would say, Kathy, if you can get those bins out of your closet, like they almost don't really need to be in your closet because they're on their way to being washed, right? So it's not like, oh, those are my pants that are clean and I want to keep them in my closet. Those are my sneakers or what have you. These things you're using your closet as a way station for the dirty laundry. So I would say if you can get some system where they're closer to the washer and dryer itself, that might be good. Or maybe just condense it into one hamper. And instead of having the 3 and do your separating by your washer and dryer, that's sort of what we do. I feel that dirty laundry is sort of the bane, and clean laundry is the bane of my existence. Like I can't even tell you guys, my Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays are usually really, really busy. And it's just insane. I'll do laundry, but then I just like clean it and I throw it up on the thing. And I think on Thursday, I'll fold that and put it away. And then people go and pick through it. And then I can't tell what's clean and dirty. It's a really challenging for me. And there's only 4 of us in our family. I think to myself and I mumble to myself all the time, what if I had 8 kids? Like, wow, how did these people do this? Why? Where would it all be?
And my sweet Lacey, she would always try to help me. Or she tries to help me. So, I mean, now I cannot leave clean clothes out if she's here because she takes all the clean clothes off the counter and throws them on the dirty pile because
she doesn't like the piles, right? She
thinks she's helping me and that's messy.
Right.
So we shouldn't have that there. So yeah, I've had to really get on my game on keeping everything hung up or my daughter just kind of helps me a little too much. Yeah. So I think what you're saying is an excellent idea. I think these things, because the thing is, I think the thing that's bothering her is it's her closet.
Yeah.
It's making her closet messy and cluttered. So I think you're onto something to go ahead and get it out of the closet and into the laundry room. And maybe it is something where you do some vertical storage where it's something hanging on the wall. And to me, I think it's more important that you get it out of your closet than to get it organized, because as you're washing, because I just cannot teach my family to do the lights and the dark separately. It's too complicated somehow.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. I don't get it. So I end up sorting through as I'm washing. It's not really that big a deal. So, I mean, I would like to see, that storage, I think, in the laundry room. And I think it would be worth it even if you can't sort it into different bins.
BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing, and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off. Yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
Yeah, I agree. And then I have a very large steel canvas laundry bin that I have by my washer and dryer. And I just dump everything in there. And as I'm washing, I'm sorting. Oh, this is darks, lights, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I need to fill it up a little more with lights, and I'll dig through and I'll find it and stuff it in. So I'm not pre-sorting, but I do have hampers strategically placed throughout the house, and sometimes they're used and sometimes they're not. And most of the time they're full, and sometimes they're full with really clean clothes that I only just washed the day before. Like, I don't know. I mean, does everyone wear a sweatshirt for like an hour and then feel like, oh, this clearly needs to be sanitized again? What?
And wash it on the sterilization.
Right. And I want to wear it
cycle.
tonight. So could you do it now? Yeah. Well.
Oh, my new washer has a 15-minute cycle.
Oh my
Super
gosh.
fast. I know. I'm so excited. Anyway, it's coming in a couple days.
Well, you'll have to keep us posted on that exciting news. Wow. We covered a lot of territory today.
Oh my goodness. I know. This was so fun. Thanks for writing in. And then the email to send in any questions or comments or your own tips, decoratingtipsandtricks@gmail.com. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
I want to remind you that we are available for design consults. We take on your design dilemmas, questions, renovations, any project you want to talk about, any room, any space. We are here for you. And we really do enjoy doing these. And I think we've helped people a lot. So if you want to sign up for a consult, head to the link in the show notes. It's decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. We hope to talk to you soon.